Back now, it's estimated that more than 1 in 5 puppies given as Christmas presents will ultimately be abandoned or handed into shelters, or even worse, handed into pounds. But as you know, there are lots of responsible pet owners out there, and we do know that. So if you're looking for a dog, we've come to the right place today, because we have 3 beautiful little puppies looking for homes. And dog behaviourist Nanci Creedon is with us as always. And I suppose, Nanci, we've talked about this before. We'll talk about it every other year. I know, when we're all standing here, surrendering dogs and giving them up after Christmas. It's epidemic nearly.
Completely. And I mean, the two of us come from the same background. We're like, we want to save every dog, and every Christmas we preach, don't get a dog for Christmas, don't get a dog for Christmas. Every January there's puppies all across the country looking for homes. So that's what we're facing again this year, and it seems to be worse this year, but at least we've got some gorgeous puppies here today.
And Nanci is going to give us some tips, because you know it's quite daunting. If you get an older dog, the reality is they're trained, or you know, maybe sometimes, but sometimes
when you get your puppy there are going to be hiccups, so we want to try and solve
us through them. Okay, we've got some great dogs, as I said. The first dog is Josie. She's a beautiful 10-week-old crossbreed from the DSPCA in Dublin. And here is Gillian Bird, who's Head of Education and Media with the DSPCA. Hi, how are you, Gillian? How are things? She is just lovely. Tell us about her.
Well, Josie is 10 weeks old. She was handed into a vet's in Dublin. The owners basically said, here's a puppy, we got it for Christmas, we don't want it anymore. So she's very much an unwanted present, which is typical.
It's completely typical this time of year.
So sad when you think about it. Now, looking at Josie, she seems to me that she could maybe have a little bit of German Shepherd or something in her.
Possibly, we don't really know yet. She came into it, she had quite a few worms and things, so she's been wormed and stuff. So, but she's coming around now nicely. But yeah, we don't really know. She is going to be a medium-sized dog. We know that.
She is. She is very furry, so you might need actually a house with maybe a little bit of a garden. Now, toilet training. Every puppy has to be toilet trained. They don't do it themselves.
No, not at all. We can't put nappies on them.
No.
So one of the big mistakes that people make with their puppies is when the puppy goes to the toilet in the house, people grab something from the kitchen, whether it's a bleach or a disinfectant, and clean up with that. And people think, okay, house is nice and clean. But to the puppy, that bleach has ammonia in it, and you've virtually sprayed pee all over your house. So you don't want to grab anything from the kitchen when you're cleaning up after your puppy. You can get specific pet cleaning up products, or you could even just get fabric detergent, mix it up with boiling water and clean up with that. And then when they do go out the back to the toilet, bring them back in, have a run around and go back out to the toilet again, because sometimes they're not finished.
Right. Now, I know you have a great fostering programme for little dogs like Josie. Somebody can take the dog.
Absolutely. Our fostering programme is, we call it Foster to Adopt. So people come up to the shelter, they do all the interviews for adopting an animal, and what happens is then they can foster it, and if they think it's going to work out, we will allow them to keep the animal. If not, they bring the animal back, we find a new home for it, and then they can foster another animal. So.
And that's perfect, because it gives people a dry run without the guilt of thinking that I failed this puppy. You know, so do
with
the dry
support
run
as well of the DSPCA. It's almost like Josie is purring. I know. Look at her, she's lovely. Thank you so much, Gillian.
Thank you very much.
And of course, Gillian has lots of lovely other animals there at the DSPCA in Dublin, and you can drop in there to see them. Thank you, Gillian. Now, the next, we have 2 little dogs from a litter. We have Juno and Jupiter. They're part of a litter of 10. And we have Tarnick Jermada, who's from Malta and Galway, bringing them out. Hello, how are you?
Hiya.
I know you guys do really good work. I know my sister's a big fan of your charity down there, which is really, really important. Now, they're beautiful. Again,
these are like my ideal puppies. Give them to me.
Now, this little girl has got a home.
Yes, these are both little boys. They're
boys, sorry, yes.
And they're from a litter of 10. And Mammy is a golden lab. But as you can see with Jupiter here, he came out a little bit different. He's a little spaniel or maybe collie, and the poor fella got overlooked a little bit on our adoption day because of his golden siblings. He was left behind, so he's looking for a home. Yes, the black and white one. He's looking for a home.
Yes, now, they'll be lively enough, especially this guy, because there's a bit of collie in him. Now, if you leave puppies like this in the house and off you go to work every day and leave them on their own, it's not good, because they're chewing up your furniture.
Completely, it's not going to work. And chewing is such a puppy behaviour that people think the puppy's being bold, or the puppy's trying to destroy the house on purpose. Generally, when puppies are chewing, it's because they're upset. So when they're chewing, it'll release dopamine and calm the puppy down and help them feel a little bit better. So if you come home and the puppy's destroyed the house, they've been panicking, they've been upset, so you need to kind of help the puppy by leaving them at home just for very short spurts of time initially.
What would you give them to chew on, apart from your stairs?
Or your fingers.
Or your fingers.
I love getting their soft toys, so if they have a rope toy or a teddy, soaking it in water and sticking it in the freezer. Because these little babies are going to be teething soon as well, and that'll give them something nice to cool their gums, calm them down by them doing the chewing, and they'll just feel much better. So a nice little frozen ice pop is a nice thing for them to chew on.
You take care of how many dogs over a period of a year?
Last year we took in 743 dogs, and we're just a little rescue in the corner of Connemara.
That's
So
scary.
It's fantastic.
it
though.
is scary.
Yeah, but it's scary at how
It
many
is
are out
scary
there.
how many are out
Thank
there.
you so much
You're
for
very
that.
welcome.
Get in
Thank
touch
you.
with Madra. We'll put all the details on our website. And finally, dog number 3. This is Millie. She's 12 weeks old and she is from DAWG here in Cork. We actually dealt with this charity
Yeah,
here as well.
and
Very
good
good
for
charity in Cork. Noella Walsh is her foster mommy at the moment. Hi, Noelle.
Hi, how are you?
I know Noelle has done a lot of work. How many dogs have you fostered?
I've lost count, but it's quite a few.
A couple of hundred?
Possibly.
My goodness. Now, Millie was found on the streets.
She was found on the streets of Cork just before Christmas.
Poor little thing. She is, what do we think, maybe a
You
dachshund?
say dachshund, and I totally agree, because when you look at her muzzle as well, it's quite long.
Yeah.
So I'd say you have her nailed this time.
Yeah, I really think she is like that, and she's nice temperament.
Oh, she's a lovely temperament.
Oh, word to that. Now, little dogs like Millie and all puppies at that age, you really can't, they could start crying at that. You really can't just ignore them if they start crying.
Because they're babies and you've taken them away from their family and they're missing their mom. So being left alone downstairs is very traumatic for some dogs. Some dogs will be fine, they'll settle through the night. But if you're finding that the puppy is upset at night, don't do what some people tell you, which is let them cry it out, because that can lead to a puppy that turns into a dog with separation anxiety.
Yeah.
So what I recommend to clients is that if your puppy's upset, spend a couple of nights where you sleep in the same room as the puppy.
Okay.
So if the puppy's due to sleep in the kitchen, set up a little camp bed in the kitchen. Don't play with the puppy, don't cuddle the puppy, but when the puppy gets upset, just reassure them, tell them that you're there, and that way then the pup will learn that it's okay to be on my own because I haven't been abandoned.
Yeah, it's true. I bet you've done that in the past, have you, with animals? Yeah.
And especially a little baby like this, because she has been abandoned.
Yeah,
So she has slept on the streets. She has woken up with no one to mind her. So she needs someone to care
She
for
does
her.
that. She would be good maybe if you had a small house in her apartment. She would suit someone like that. She's not going to get too. She'd probably only be up to
And
about
that
there,
is what's
Nancy.
great about looking to rescue puppies as well, because we can already tell that if you're looking for a small dog, here's the small dog. If you're looking for a medium dog, we've met some medium dogs. So you can find out what you're getting already when you are adopting a puppy.
Very good. DAWG, we're going to put all the details on our website, of course. And thank you so much, Noelle. And thank you for taking care of all those dogs over the years. Poor little
Keep
thing.
you busy.
The reality is, I suppose, if you have a puppy and if you say you can't handle them, and there are two things you can do. You can either go to obedience classes.
Yeah, so if you have a puppy at home and it's not working out, if you think that, okay, we'll give it one more go, get into your local obedience classes. And if you do think that it's just not working out, maybe you didn't want the puppy in the first place, act now, find a rescue centre and let them find a home for your puppy, because locking it in the garden or ignoring it for a year and then expecting someone to fix the problem is just not fair. Not fair.
Because you're going to traumatise the dog, and the dog will not be able to go to anybody else.
And there's no shame in looking for help. So if you do need to go to a rescue centre or a trainer now, do it.
Brilliant. And maybe go to your vets or someone like that first if you don't know where to start.
Yeah, exactly.
Or a rescue
Look for
centre,
advice.
as you said. Nancy,
Exactly.
thank you so much, as always.
worries.
No doubt we'll be standing here again if we're all here again next year talking about the same thing. But, you know, I suppose putting it out there is the most important thing. But a big thanks to all the charities who travelled from Galway and Dublin and everywhere today with those lovely dogs. And if you're interested in giving them a home, if you can, we're going to put all the contact details on our Facebook page. Bye.
Thank you, Maura. Now.